Low self-esteem is a goddamn parasite. It burrows deep into your mind, feeding off every ounce of doubt, every fleeting fear, and every little failure you've ever had. It twists them, amplifies them, and uses them to convince you of one thing: that you're not good enough, that you don't have what it takes, that you're destined to be small, invisible, and insignificant. And if you're not careful, it'll take root so deep inside you that you start believing it's who you are. But let me tell you something right now. It's not. You weren't born doubting yourself. You weren't born carrying this weight. Somewhere along the line, someone or something put it on your shoulders. Maybe it was the way your parents spoke to you, always critical, never enough praise. Maybe it was school, where every failure felt like a brand burned into your skin. Maybe it was relationships that chipped away at you, one betrayal, one insult, one rejection at a time. Or maybe it wasn't anything dramatic at all. Just the slow, quiet erosion of confidence over years of living in a world that thrives on telling you where you don't measure up. But here's the thing. It doesn't fucking matter how it got there. What matters is what you do about it. Low self-esteem is a prison, and the longer you stay locked inside, the harder it gets to believe there's a way out. But here's the truth. The key has been in your hands this whole time. You don't need someone else to rescue you. You don't need permission to escape. You just need to stop believing the lies that low self-esteem has been feeding you and start fighting back. Because that's what this is, a fight. A battle for your mind, for your life, for the person you know deep down you were meant to be. And I don't care how long you've been sitting in that cell. Today is the day you get the fuck up and start tearing the bars down. The first thing you need to understand is this. Low self-esteem is not your identity. It's not who you are. It's where you are. And like any place, you can leave it behind. It's a state of being, a mental habit, a story you've been telling yourself for so long that it feels like the truth. But it's not the truth. It's a distorted version of reality, one where every flaw is magnified, every strength is ignored, and every possibility is written off before you even try. And the only way to change it is to start rewriting the story, not with half-assed affirmations or fake positivity, but with raw, unfiltered truth. You're not perfect, and you never will be. But guess what? No one else is either. Stop comparing your worst moments to someone else's highlight reel. Stop holding yourself to a standard that doesn't fucking exist. Perfection isn't real, but progress is. Growth is. And the only thing standing between you and the life you want is your willingness to step into the fire and do the work. Because that's what this is. It's work. It's not magic, it's not luck, it's not something that just happens. It's a battle day in and day out against every negative thought, every crippling doubt, every habit of playing small and staying quiet. You're going to feel resistance. That's inevitable. Low self-esteem doesn't go down without a fight. It'll whisper in your ear, telling you you're wasting your time, that you'll never change, that it's safer to stay where you are. But you need to shut that voice the fuck up. You need to drown it out with action, with progress, with every tiny step forward that says, I'm not staying here anymore. Because every time you act in defiance of that voice, you weaken it. Every time you prove it wrong, you take back a little more of your power. And let me be clear, this isn't about pretending to be confident when you're not. It's not about faking it until you make it. It's about building real, unshakable confidence from the ground up. Confidence isn't a personality trait. It's a skill. And like any skill, it comes from repetition, from effort, from doing the hard things even when you're scared. Especially when you're scared. Confidence isn't the absence of fear. It's the decision to move forward despite it. Start small. Start with the things you've been avoiding because you didn't think you were good enough. Speak up in that meeting. Ask for what you want. Set a boundary with someone who's been walking all over you. take that first step toward the goal you've been too afraid to chase. And when you do, when you take that leap, even if it's messy, even if it's imperfect, you'll feel something shift inside you. That's power. That's momentum. And once you taste it, you'll never want to stop. But this isn't just about individual moments of bravery. It's about building a life that reflects your worth. It's about surrounding yourself with people who lift you up instead of tearing you down. It's about creating routines and habits that strengthen you instead of sabotaging you. It's about treating yourself with the same respect and kindness you'd give to someone you love. Because here's the thing, you can't hate yourself into being better. You can't shame yourself into confidence. You have to learn to be on your own side, to fight for yourself, not against yourself. And yeah, it's gonna be hard. There will be days when the weight of self-doubt feels unbearable. Days when you fall back into old patterns. When you hear that voice in your head saying, "See, I told you so." But those days don't define you. What defines you is what you do next. Do you let it pull you back into the dark, or do you stand up, shake it off, and keep moving forward? Because every time you choose to fight, every time you refuse to give in, you get stronger. And over time, that strength adds up. It becomes who you are. Low self-esteem doesn't have to own you. It doesn't have to define your life. You are more than your doubts, more than your fears, more than the lies you've been told about yourself. You are capable of so much more than you think. And the only thing holding you back is the belief that you can't. So stop waiting for permission. Stop waiting for the perfect moment. Stop waiting for someone else to come along and tell you you're enough. You're enough because you decide you are. And the moment you make that decision, the moment you commit to it with everything you've got, you'll start to see the walls of that prison crumble. This is your life. Your one shot. Don't waste it letting low self-esteem call the shots. You're stronger than that voice in your head. You're stronger than your past, stronger than your pain, stronger than every reason you've ever given yourself to stay small. So rise up, break the chains, and show the world and yourself what you're really made of.